What's up, guys? Welcome back to Taxes Made Simple. I'm your host, Karlton Dennis, and in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how to set up an Airbnb from start to finish. Now, I get a lot of viewers on my channel that want to learn more about Airbnb tax strategies, but they get into Airbnbs and don't really understand how to run a successful Airbnb. But today, I'm not going to be discussing those tax benefits. Instead, I'm going to be talking about the actual Airbnb setup process, because it's not enough to simply know about the tax benefits of short-term rentals. If you want to be able to take advantage of their tax benefits, then you're going to need to know how to run a short-term rental business. So in today's video, let's learn how to run an Airbnb business. All right, guys, make sure you stay until the end of this video because I'll be answering questions from subscribers about short-term rentals, and I know you guys want to have access to that information. So let's jump in. Step number one is to obtain any necessary permits and permissions. For the sake of this video, I'll assume that you have already chosen your Airbnb property, and if you haven't, then I have another video coming out in the coming weeks that will explain to you how to select the perfect Airbnb property. So stay tuned for that. After you have selected your property and gone through the necessary process of closing the deal, the first thing that you're going to need to do is obtain the necessary permits to run an Airbnb. Now, if you're brand new to the world of Airbnbs and VRBO, you might be surprised to learn that many local governments require Airbnb owners to obtain a permit or a license to operate in their cities or towns. So what we're going to do is check in with your local government to find out where your Airbnb is located to figure out if a permit is required. You may also need to check with your homeowners association. If you do not own the property, then you will also need to check with your landlord to see what the policies are for doing Airbnb arbitrage. Make sure that you obtain any permissions that are required before you move in, because trust me, you don't want to get hassled for permits or permission down the road once you've already set up a successful Airbnb business and are cash flowing. Now, step number two is let's get your property ready to list. The amount of work that you have to put into your property before it is ready to list can vary significantly depending on what property you've bought and where it's located. Some properties are already in great shape and do not need a ton of work. However, others may require a significant amount of renovations before you can even list the property to rent. Keep in mind that you'll be competing against other Airbnb landlords in your area, so you really want to make sure your property looks beautiful. Can it stand out? You want to add in that nice furniture if you can afford it. Those high quality linens and blankets are a must, and beautiful glassware and decorations are okay if it makes sense in the area. You can paint the walls to make the rental property look newer, better, and ready to go. You also need to make sure that the Airbnb is functional. Make sure that you have the Nest ring so it's easy to transition the air. That typically makes the property look so much better. An up-to-date coffee maker, all new kitchen appliances is always nice. And if you have it in your budget, I would recommend working with an interior designer to optimize the look and feel of your Airbnb. One of the things that I love about going to Airbnbs is seeing all the additional benefits that the landlord has put into the property to make the experience better and more seamless for the guests. This can include adding a keyless lock to make check-in easier and making a guidebook for the fun activities that are in the area. Some Airbnb hosts even go above and beyond and add luxuries like outdoor hot tubs, but of course, not every Airbnb host can accommodate a hot tub. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still get creative and use your creativity to try to optimize your Airbnb. Once you have completed your renovations and the additions, it's time to move to the next step, which is step number 3. Let's get professional photos taken for your property. If you want to optimize the amount of bookings and the amount of cash flow that you can get from your Airbnb, this means your property has to look extremely beautiful in your listings. Some people think it's enough to just take the photos from their iPhone or the photos from Zillow. I highly recommend that you don't do this and that you instead get professional photos taken. Having professional photos taken is only going to cost a few $100s, and in most cases, it's going to lead to you making a few thousands of more dollars, because that extra money that you spent on getting those photos taken is the difference between you booking a high quality tenant and not booking a high quality tenant. If you have high quality photographers in your area, book them. Get the photos taken of your Airbnb so you can use them for your listing. Now, step number 4, decide your pricing. The way that you price your Airbnb is going to have a large impact on your overall success. Pricing too high can drive down the listings. Pricing too low can hurt the profits. The goal is to find the perfect price that optimizes both profits without driving down the bookings too much. There are many different ways to set the pricing for your Airbnb listings, and some people prefer to make their prices as close as possible to comparable listings near them. Others prefer to manually adjust pricing according to the shifts in the market demand. What I encourage is that you use a dynamic pricing tool, such as the Airbnb Smart Pricing tool that automatically adjusts pricing according to a number of factors, such as the popularity in the marketplace, the popularity of your listing, the number of positive reviews that you get, and much more. Dynamic pricing tools can be an extremely beneficial tool for you when choosing the best prices for your listing and automating a system so you can alter prices throughout the year. I highly recommend that you try this out. Step number 5, and we had to do this. You got to set up your LLC. Now, of course, part of setting up your Airbnb's business has to include setting up LLCs. This is because you need to make sure that you protect yourself from the liabilities associated with running an Airbnb business. What if someone slips and falls in your property? Yes, that does mean that you're liable for it if you don't have an LLC. Someone can accidentally fall off one of your couches and get an injury. We see all the time people doing crazy things at Airbnbs. So do you really want to be exposed? Setting up LLCs can help you limit your liability so you won't ever have to worry about your personal assets being seized in the event that your Airbnb business is sued. At my company, in most cases, we recommend that you set up one LLC that will serve as the holding company for the property. The LLC will hold the title of the property. We also, and most sometimes, typically recommend that you set up a second LLC to serve as a management company for the rental portfolio, depending on how many rental properties that you have. There are a number of tax benefits for using this structure related to placing your children on payroll and taking additional deductions, and also being compensated for putting in work of managing your own rental. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the benefits today of setting up a management company. I have other videos on my YouTube channel covering those topics that you can go check out if you want to learn more. But make sure that you set up your LLC properly. This is one of the most important steps. Step number 6, you have to open a business bank account, guys. In addition to setting up your LLC, you should also set up the business bank account right after you get your paperwork back. You can use your business bank account to send and receive payments on behalf of your Airbnb business. Having a business bank account helps you to protect your personal and your business payments and keep your funds completely separated. This is important for preventing accidental commingling, and these things, which could potentially result in a piercing of your corporate veil, can happen. If you pierce your corporate veil, it could result in a loss of liability protection for your LLC, which you definitely don't want. So just make sure that you set up your business account for your Airbnb, keep your personal income and expenses separate, and once your business bank account has been established, make sure you connect it to Airbnb so that the payments go to this account when you receive them through Airbnb. Step number 7. Generate and post the listing. This is the last and final step to get your Airbnb up and running. Remember, guys, the listing is how people will actually find your Airbnb and decide whether or not they would like to book your property. If you're trying to do the short-term rental loophole, this property needs to be rented, guys. In addition to having professionally done photos of your property, you should also make sure that the copy that will go on your listing is well done as well. You need to include all the details about your property in addition to its unique selling points. If possible, you should also write that copy in a way that makes it sound exciting, compelling, intriguing. Remember, people will literally decide whether or not they stay in your Airbnb based off the details and the photos that are in your listing in addition to the pricing. So this is not a game. This is something that you need to put effort into. If you have the time, if you have the budget to run an Airbnb business correctly, then you should have the time to make sure that you hire professional photographers and that you write your listing correctly. This is how you get great bookings. Okay, so those are all of the steps that you need to complete to get an Airbnb up and running. So if you can make it through all of those steps that I just listed, then you can successfully run an Airbnb business. It's not that hard to get this thing in motion. But one additional suggestion that I will make is that if you are not planning on doing the cleaning and laundry for your Airbnb yourself, you will need to hire cleaners to work on a regular basis. Please don't forget this. Now, I'm going to answer a question that came in from one of my subscribers that asked me a question on short-term rentals. This question came from Peter Onsell 2715 on why short-term rentals can save you on all taxes video that I posted earlier in the year. His question was, really enjoying these very informative videos and love your passion for the subject. Thank you. You're a natural and gifted teacher. My question on short-term rentals, assuming 7 days or less, how many times a year must you rent it to qualify? What if you only rented 2 or 3 times a year? Say 21 days max, is that enough? Also, you mentioned depreciation, but what about expenses like lawn care or pool cleaning? Can those be balanced against active W-2 income? Also, from your previous videos, I'm assuming I should do this through an LLC. So a lot of questions there. The answer is you need to rent out the property for a minimum of 14 days. The reason why I prefer 14 days, and this is not a IRS rule. There are court cases where people have been able to rent the property only for a couple of days, less than 14 days, and still qualify for the short-term rental rule. But the IRS has the Augusta rule. And the Augusta rule says if you rent out a property for 14 days or less, the rental income is not counted. It doesn't have to be counted. So I don't like that the IRS could take that stance against one of my taxpayers. So I always encourage my taxpayers to follow the 7-7-1 strategy. Rent to your first tenant for 7 days, rent to your second tenant for 7 days, rent to your third tenant for 1 day. You have a total of 3 tenants. On average, each of your tenants are staying 7 days or less, and you have a total of 15 rental days. If you have expenses associated with running this business, those expenses are absolutely deductible, and I 100% recommend that you set up an LLC so that you have liability protection. My name is Karlton Dennis. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and share this with one person that's going to be setting up an Airbnb, utilizing the depreciation off Airbnbs to offset their active income. I want to make sure they know how to run their business successfully. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future and to becoming your tax strategist. Thank you.